So I just had my TA check off what you did turn in of your math lib, which for some it was just, had your name on it, but that's what I said, turn it in even if it just has your name on it. I said I'd give you time on Friday to finish it. So I do expect it to be finished today. Make that your first priority. That's why on this to-do list, in order of priority, it's number one, because it'll be the first assessment grade for math lab. Remember, we don't do traditional quizzes or tests in here. So it's more like activities go in that category. So you need to do it. Otherwise, your grade will absolutely tank, even if it's 100 right now. So granted, like, should you run out of time? You can resubmit for more points, but based on like what I saw last semester, most kids just like never did. We've never did. So that's why I say, like, when I give you time in class and I tell you, make it your first priority, make it your first priority. So I'll pass this back to you and you can finish it. Remember, if you don't show work, you don't get credit. So when I have my TA grade it again, you can't just have like the answers. Like, show me what the equation looks like. I know there's not a lot of work you can show. Show me what it looks like before you put it in your calculator. Okay, or like I saw, and it might not be this class, but I saw that like some people had this part filled out, but nothing else on the other blanks. So like that would be 0 as well. Okay, I didn't know that you actually know how to do it. It's not like I gave it to you without telling you how to do it. It should be stuff that you know, or you ask now that I'm here and can help you. So that's first priority. You can walk around the room for the problem. It's also in the math lab Schoology in a PDF if you'd rather just scroll, but that's first priority. Then go to lesson 7 practice and try to get 80% or higher. Then all the other practices from the past, I don't know, 2 weeks. Try to get 80% or higher if it's not on that already. If you're like an overachiever, then make sure your notes are up to date, because I don't know about all the algebra teachers, I would say like most of them let you use your notes on quizzes, or just in general, like if you missed a lesson, you gotta take notes on that lesson so that you're ready for the quiz. So quizzes on Monday, make sure your notes are up to date. And then if you have additional time after that, you are allowed to use any extra time to do like test corrections or a quiz retake in here. Even if I'm not your algebra teacher, like you can set that up. So it's an order of priority, make sure the number 1, the math lib gets done. I'm gonna pass it back right now. Any questions? Pause this recording so I can pass it out. I'm gonna go over requests on the math lib, but should you like not believe me or whatever that it's in Schoology, you really could work on it from home if you wanted to at a later date. It's in this week's folder, and here's the title of that assignment. It would be the only assessment for math lab currently once I enter that score in. So it has the instructions. You don't really need the template. I mean, you do need to fill out that last part so that it makes sense and my TA can grade it. But my plan is, like, I don't want you to take these papers home. I want you to leave them here. You could work on it anytime you're in here. There's almost always time left over. I don't want you taking them. Plus, like, I can see students like just not doing it. And that will be evidence of like why you don't need to be in this class. Like, this class is for students that genuinely want to improve on their math skills. We'll put you in another class if you don't want to do the work. There's no sense in you failing 2 classes, algebra and math lab. But anyway, here's that PDF I told you has the questions, so that you could work on it at a later date if I do take down these papers. Normally I leave them up for a long time. But the request was on number 10. So Ray invested in $300 in stock A and $750 in stock B. Since then, the value of stock A has increased by 15% each year, the value of stock B has decreased by 12% each year. After 4 years, which statement is true regarding the value of his investments? So basically, you need to do two separate calculations for stock A and for stock B. Each of them will follow this format. And the plus or minus R depends on whether it's increasing or decreasing. So for stock A, Y would be like your output, so that would be my value of the stock, which we don't know yet. A is what for stock A? Table 1, can you tell me? For stock A, what's going to be my A? 300, my initial amount. Then it's going to be 1, and then are we going to use the plus or the minus table 2? The plus, because it says stock A increased by 15%. You have to put that as a decimal for 15%. So table 3, what's 15% as a decimal? Good. If you're still not comfortable with percents to decimals, whatever the percent is divided by 100%, the percent will then cancel out and you get the correct decimal. But yeah, and then it's to the t power. So what's my t going to be? Table 4? 4. After 4 years, we want to see what statement's true. So I'll put that in my calculator shortly. We still need to calculate for stock B though, so that we can compare them. So for that one, what's my A going to be? Table 5? 750. That's my starting amount for stock B. I'm not sure what you said. That's what you said. Okay. It says they invested 300 in stock A and 750 in stock B. So that's what stock B started at. Then table 6, is it going to be 1 plus or 1 minus? Good, because it said stock B decreased by 12%. What's 12% as a decimal? Someone different from table 1? 0.12. Yeah, that's not table 1. That's okay, I'll take it. 0.12. And what will be the T, table 1? What's the time frame that we're looking at on this?
4 years.
Okay, good. Now the rest you have to put in your calculator. Like there's really no way around it. Stop being stubborn and trying to like, I don't know, just avoid that part. The hard part is setting it up. And normally I show you on my screen what it looks like. If you want to see it, let me know. I'm just going to do it on my own Desmos on my phone. So 300 parentheses 1 plus 0.15 to the 4th power. Stock A is worth 524.70 when you round it. So round it to the box. Now I'm going to put what I put for stock B in my calculator. 750 parentheses 1 minus 0.12 to the 4th power. So make sure you have the parentheses because otherwise it'll give you a wrong answer. If it says anything other than 449.77, make sure you ask, because that just means you don't know how to use the calculator. That's an easy fix. All right, and when you look at the answer options, we're picking which one is true, and most of them are talking about like which one is worth more. So which stock is worth more, stock A or stock B? Okay, good. So all the ones that say stock B is worth more, don't pick those. So don't pick C or D, so it's not worth more. And then to figure out how much more, what math do I need to do? You need to subtract them. So I'm doing 524.7 minus 449.77. And it's $74.93 more than stock. So like this one, which for your story, you write this for number 10. They are best friends. Good? Okay. Any other questions? And it can be from any practice, it can be from the math lib, yes. Number 7 from the math lib. If you're still taking down some work, Sean, you know, I'm gonna put it in about 1 second. This is recorded though, so you can refer to it another time. But we're gonna look at number 7 next. We're talking about this, right? Because the 7 goes down to 51. Okay, so number 7 now. When Brad was born, his grandma put $1,500 in a new account for him. Since then, the balance of the account has grown by 6.5% each year with no other deposits or withdrawals. Now Brad is 18 and can withdraw the money. If he decides to wait until his 21st birthday, how much more money will he have in his account? So this is really similar to something you'll see on your constructed response test, by the way. But first you need to figure out how much he has when he's 18 years old. So we'll do that calculation. So table 2, what's my A gonna be in this one? $1,500. That's my starting amount. Trying to figure out how much more he'll have in his account. What it started out was 1,500. And is it gonna be 1 plus or 1 minus table 3? Good. And what's the rate, table 4? 0.065 is correct. All right, not 0.65 because that would be 65%. You got to do the 6.5% divided by 100% to get the decimal. It'll be similar like that on your constructed response too. And then what's the time frame for this one, table 5? If we're trying to find how much he had when he was 18, it should be 18. But then later, when we find out how much would be in there when he is 21, then we'll do the same thing because the A is not changing. The rate it's increasing by is not changing. But the T would change because now it's in there for a few more years. We're not going to put a 3 because it's been increasing since he was born. So you do those calculations. You need to see it in the calculator, let me know, but basically it's everything we have. So 1,500 parentheses 1 minus or 1 plus, sorry, growing 0.065 close parentheses to 18. So if for that value you're getting something other than 4,659.98, let me know, and it's rounded to dollars. And then for when he's 21, you should just have to change the exponent to 21. And if you're getting something other than 5,629.02, then let me know. So to figure out what the answer to the question is, if he decides to wait until his 21st birthday, what math do I need to do to figure out how much more he'll have? So then take that answer. 5,639.802 minus what he had when it was at year 18. And which answer is it going to be? Correct. Exactly what it said in my calculator. So then for number 7, that part of the story, that underlined, I didn't mean to cross it out, should say parade float. So when we grade it, it'll be word shown. So like you would have these equations written down. I understand you can use your calculator, like what we wrote down for each equation and the answer. And then when we grade it for accuracy, we're reading the correct story. Okay, question? So please don't take these papers with you. Put them in a pile in the middle of the desk. You can work on it anytime you're in this class. So anytime left over, you want to continue working on it, I'll give it back to you. But I don't want you to lose it. I want you to get more points than what you had when I checked it earlier. Leave it in the middle of your results.